My name is Bennett, here with PvP Legends to bring you a recap of the GETREKT 2 PvP tournament held in the UK on July 23rd. This was a round-robin tournament featuring 8 teams facing off in 3v3 skirmish to determine who would go to the finals. Starting off, tail end of Anubis versus We Don't Chill, where despite some solid plays from the Anubis team, We Don't Chill comes out victorious in a 2-0 sweep in a best-of-3 match. Closing out round 1, we had IAM versus the Master Baiters. The Baiters took round 1 thanks in part to solid team play and their gun skill. Got a little bit of help though. Lambie over on IAM just couldn't seem to get any of his snipes to connect early on. IAM kept the match close throughout, but it was the Baiters who went into game 2 with a 1-0 lead. Round 2, Lambie and IAM upped their play and win, forcing a third and final game where they jump out to an early 2,000 point and more lead within the first few minutes. Even with some solid individual play from the Baiters, they were eventually steamrolled by IAM and lost the series 2-1. Oh, a nice match coming down from Ozzy. That was it for round 1, so let's head over to round 2 and a new set of maps. First match, Avalanche taking on Anubis. And the story of the match was Jay Gibbs and his smoke void spike combinations. Had some great placement, racking up kill after kill. Instead, gonna swap to that last word, get a number of shots across, not gonna be able to finish that off. But the nades! Nades weren't all though. Jay Gibbs came through and gave a couple of great snipe plays, helping the team out and getting them the first round win. Moving on to Burning Shrine, Anubis is rolling, going up over 4,000 points by the halfway mark, picking up a few Strength of the Wolf medals along the way. Avalanche tried to get something going, but when every gunfight ends in a trade, it's hard to catch up.
Wombo again using that to disengage and fluster the aggression.
Oh, the motion! Oh man, what a great move! Next up, we had Flame versus IAM, and IAM starting off with a little serving of emote taunting to show their confidence. This is impressive considering they go into game 1 of the series down a player. Benny coming down, getting a double. That being said, playing 2v3 didn't seem to matter. IAM grabbed the lead early and did not let it go. With the Charizard, it seemed. Here's the smash though from Crazy Abe taking out 2. That is a double. IAM using their experience to outmaneuver Flame again and again to win game 1 before Lambie rejoined, and from there going on to win game 2 and the match itself. So, moving on, we have We Don't Chill versus the Crucible Sherpas. From below party room, and there's that plant seed coming out. He's able to get a couple bolts in and get the melee. Using it again, there's 2. Schleitis started off with a few Voops to put some points on the board before Sir Dev and We Don't Chill decided it was time to use some force. Really doing a great job right now pushing across, and now Dev has gotten himself into a little bit of a pickle, using some verticality. Gonna push up, he's got 2 down here. Is he gonna be able to get both of them? Yes! We Don't Chill took the lead and held it for the rest of game 1. Schleitis and the Crucible Sherpas kept fighting from behind though, trying to make clear that they weren't out of the game yet. We Don't Chill he pre-charges that perfectly and is able to take one out. But too little too late, and We Don't Chill takes game 1. Game 2, Burning Shrine. We Don't Chill coming out hot. There's a single from Dev with the Nova, follows it up with the shotgun kill and trying to get one more. Crucible Sherpas couldn't get anything going this time around, and We Don't Chill shows that when it comes to the Crucible, they don't need any guides. Sherpas fall to We Don't Chill 2-0 to end the match. Round 3, We Don't Chill starts off with a win over Avalanche, giving them a no-loss record and advancing to the Xbox One Finals, while Anubis falls to the Crucible Sherpas, setting the stage for a best-of-5 rematch between the two teams. Now we go to Flame versus the Baiters, and the Baiters hit the ground running, racing out to a 1,000-point lead in the first minute and a half. Flame can't seem to get a handle on the rapid team movement and aggression coming out of the Baiters from the start, and the Baiters practically skipping across the finish line by the end to win while maintaining about a 2,000-point lead for most of the game. Despite the loss, Charizard and the rest of Flame get a little something going by the end of the first round, killing some supers and jumping into game 2 with a little more fire, sticking together as a team and grabbing the lead in the opening minute. And he uses to sight down lanes. Here comes a Nova, that's 2 coming from Charizard. Baiters end up retaking that lead, but Flame is by no means out and makes some great team plays to pull back within 300.
Oh, there's an enemy super coming through right now. Saints with that Storm Trance. No deaths yet.
Somehow.
And Zeph and the rest of his team all survive and end up killing the active Storm Trance.
After that, though, the Baiters would end up pulling together and pushing ahead to win the match 2-0, sending them to the PS4 Finals with an overall record of 2-1 through 3 rounds. And now for the last match of the tourney, we have IAM versus 13 Angles. IAM starts off strong, and Lambie strings a few kills together to grab the lead in the first few minutes.
Yeah, Silent Killer in trouble there and ended up going down. He got chased down.
Oh,
Wow.
And the turnaround. IAM's lead would not last, though. Now pushing in with the shotgun, trying to get that angle, using the environment to great effect. 13 Angles hold the lead for a bit, but any momentum is stopped when Lambie's shot starts to line up and IAM goes to work. Negating that storm trail. Oh! Well, that should be a good Nova. He gets 2.
It
Lambie
was.
with the double.
IAM a minute later pulls off a Strength of the Wolf to completely shut down this 13 Angles team.
IAM takes game 1 and shows no sign of slowing down moving into game 2.
But every individual play isn't so absolutely spectacular, but
Double
he
down.
keeps doing them. Play by Lambie, absolutely incredible to watch right now. He's on a 10 kill streak.
13 Angles end up being unable to get anything going against an IAM team that's firing on all cylinders. IAM wins the match 2-0, and that gives them a 3-0 record and a spot in the finals against the Baiters. In the first final match, the Crucible Sherpas have one more chance against the undefeated We Don't Chill squad, this time in a best of 5. We Don't Chill starting off a little slow, but warming back up, jumping out to a 700-point lead in the opening minutes of game 1. Back on We Don't Chill, still in the lead, 1390 to 980, 1 kill from Sir Death with that Nova Bomb, following it up with getting the double down and dropping a little Earl Grey there.
Oh yeah,
a little bit at the end. And We Don't Chill take the first round. Actually play your game. If you're constantly playing on defense, it's gonna be tough. And here we already start. Sir Dev, 2 shotgun kills in a row. Round 2, We Don't Chill starts strong, but the Sherpas rally, coming back to grab their first lead of the match. And with that, I mean, the Sherpas have come back into it. The shot coming out, and now we've got 2 of them down there. We get a punch, it's a punch out, and a trade there. Unfortunately for the Sherpas, We Don't Chill end up taking back the lead and winning the round.
And keep fighting and try and take this to a 3rd game.
Let's talk for a second about radar reading. Game 3, down 2-0. Sherpas have to get something going, and they come through in the end. They grab and hold a close lead for much of the game, with some solid team play and strategy forcing a 4th game against We Don't Chill. We Don't Chill comes roaring back in game 4, jumping out to an early lead and basically negating most of the supers and abilities coming out of the Sherpas, playing through suppressors and bubbles to let them know that if they have their way with it, there's not going to be a game 5. Not wanting to be put down, Schleitus brings out that plan C and helps the Sherpas rally, bringing the game back to within 1 or 2 kills. Now that we've got that Storm Trance coming through, wow, the drive-by! Ultimately, it would not be enough, and We Don't Chill emerged as the victors of the Xbox One final, winning 4-1. Next up, it's the PS4 final, and it's IAM versus the Baiters. Baiters come out looking a bit listless in the opening game, and IAM takes full advantage, moving together, rotating, and seemingly being everywhere at once, maintaining a 1,000-point buffer between their teams for most of the match. When you've got Lambie just trying to pop off some of these shots like that.
Okay.
By the end of the first game, Ozzy has accepted the inevitable, and IAM rolls into game 2 with a 1-point lead. Game 2, IAM grabs the lead again and holds it. Apparently, they're also holding on to a little bit of frustration with the Baiters as well. There was some back and forth in the arena. We see Lambie here, a couple shots off.
Then he's running Crazy Ape, but he's got a lot of distance to cover.
Oh, using that ionic
third.
IAM takes game 2, and the Baiters find themselves down 2-0 in this best of 5. Luckily, it seems that Ozzy thrives under pressure, and the Baiters are able to start playing their game, winning game 3. More of a command of the lead now, up 300, but there's a big smash coming down from Ozzy, gets the 2-piece, staying off radar and able to catch the surprise. Game 4, and the only way to describe this one is the Ozzy show. Oh, he's got to be careful. It gets a nice 3-shot there.
Oh my God.
There you go. Definitely in that sense. And so here comes the nade. Oh, just hits the doorway, but he does have the hand cannon to follow it up. And the shotgun out of mid-air. So well, when they start building momentum to start going off. Ozzy ends up outscoring his teammates by over 1,000 and carries them into Game 5 with the score tied 2-2. Game 5 starts out close, but it looks like IAM was feeling that pressure and brought their A-game, building their lead despite the best efforts of the baiters. Making good use of movement and gun skill, IAM goes on to become the winners of the PS4 final with the score of 3-2. Tell the win on this match. Let's see what we can make happen.
Oh,
here comes the Nova. That's gonna do it.
That's the game.
And that's what you missed if you didn't catch the GETREKT 2 PvP tourney live from the UK.